Okay, so your husband is lazy. But wait, sometimes you are lazy too. If deciding what's going to be done in your home and who's going to be doing it is a constant fight in your home, then this video is for you. Welcome to the #1 place for super busy and super tired parents, where I help you get the most done using the little time that you do have while skipping the frustration and the guilt. In today's video, we will be talking about how do you share the responsibilities in your home and how do you effectively communicate your expectations with your spouse. Now, before we begin, I want to personally invite you to the 2021 planning workshop. The description of this video will have a link that will take you directly there where you can register for free. It will have all of the details. But just so you know, we're going to spend the entire month of January planning 2021 because we all know a goal without a plan is just a wish. And I don't want you to experience another year of making New Year's resolutions that you never work towards and you never get to attain any of it. So we are going to strategically plan together for free in an intimate session for the month of January 2021. Now let's get to the fun. Let's get to the tips. So these tips are going to be practical. These tips are going to be things that you can actually implement with your spouse. It's not going to be anything fluffy. These are going to be actual tips that you can implement. And before we begin, I want to remind you that fighting with your spouse about chores is absolutely normal. Now, I know that you're going to think, no, we should be lovey-dovey and, everything should be perfect. And no, that's false. Think about this. When you were a child, you fought with your parents about chores. If you had siblings, you fought with your siblings about chores. If you had a group project in school, you fought with them about who will do what. So why on God's earth do you think you're not going to fight with your spouse about chores is beyond me. Or maybe you think you're all grown up and matured and professional and that we should know what to do and all that stuff. No, you're still human, and that's part of our nature. Like, we have to navigate how to live with each other. So let's get that right out there, that it's completely normal. But these tips are going to help you to approach it in a way that's going to work for both of you. The first tip that I have for you is to be honest. Speak candidly and openly to your spouse about your expectations. Now, this doesn't mean to constantly nag and badger him or her about what they're doing right or wrong, unless they're badgering them in a positive way, and which is not badgering, which you're basically telling them that they're doing good things all the time. But I want you to be candid and honest with them. So if you don't like that your wife hangs her bra on the door, you need to let her know. If you don't like that your spouse leaves his shoes at the front door, you need to let them know. But here's where we're going to take this a step further. You need to find a place for them to put it. So if you just say, don't leave your bra on the door, she likes it there because it's convenient. I like my bra on the door because it's convenient. What you can do as a man is take it a step further and place a hook on the door. So now it doesn't look as tacky as a bra hanging on the door. There's an actual hook for her to hook that bra onto. So you're not just being open and honest, but you're giving a solution to the problem. You're replacing it with something else. You're not just saying, oh, could you stop hanging your bra on the door? You are giving a solution to the problem. So be honest, be candid, and give a solution. The next tip that I have for you is to remove those judgmental glasses. I suffered from this a lot too. I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe that so-and-so is so untidy and messy, and I'm better than him because I clean up more than he does and I'm more organized than he does. But you really need to understand that you are not the cleanest person in the world. You are not the most organized person in the world. There are some people that are more organized than you, and your spouse is not some subject or project for you to work on. Like, you guys need to work on yourselves and then work on your relationship, because together you guys can be the best. But if you keep with those judgmental glasses on, I guarantee you it's going to be a problem, because when you speak to your spouse about the things that you do not like, it will come from a place of punishment, a place of, you're condemning them, a place of sitting high and looking down low with your nose up high as if you don't make mistakes. And no one is going to receive the message if you do it that way. So I want to remind you that this is not your child. This is your spouse. And so you'll need to understand that you're not perfect and you need to remove those judgmental glasses. Now, in your home, you are confused about who should do what. I get that. That's a real, legitimate concern. But how about this? How about this tip? How about you do what you love and he does what he loves? So in my home, for example, I don't necessarily love cooking. Every now and then I'd love to prepare a meal for my family, but I'm one of those persons that can go to bed off of a sandwich or just some steamed vegetables and chicken, whereas my husband needs it all. For breakfast, I can just have simple fruit and a sandwich and I'm fine. So he prefers cooking, so he cooks. I prefer a clean house, so I clean. So do what you love. If your husband loves something and you love something, you guys divide those tasks that way. Now, of course, at the end of the day, some things will be left over, right? Some things that you don't love and he don't love, who is going to do it? The solution is to, one, see if you can outsource it. Is it something that you can pay someone else to do? If you can outsource it, then you guys take turns doing it. So, okay, none of us like to, for example, shovel snow, right? Maybe that's something that you guys can schedule. This week he'll do it, the next week you'll do it. And then you have a happy medium. The next tip that I have for you is to quit being nitpicky. You don't need to evenly divide the task between your spouse and yourself. You don't need to have 50% of the work and he has 50% of the work. Like, that is nitpicking. As long as you are doing what you love and he is doing what he loves and you guys are finding a way to manage what's left over, there is no problem. Now, I'm not telling you to take up the whole world and put it on your shoulders because you love doing it and then you get burned out. I'm not telling you to do 99.9% of the task while your husband does 0.1%. That is going to burn you out. Whether that's something you love or not, it's going to burn you out. What I'm telling you is to find your happy medium and don't be so caught up in trying to evenly divide the task. Sometimes that's impossible to do. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, keep on moving. Now, before we move any further, I want to remind you that we are having a free 2021 planning workshop. It will be in the description of this video. I need you to go on there and register. Once you register, we will begin sending you next steps on how you can plan your 2021 year with us. Also, don't forget to say hello on Instagram and Facebook. I'm over there and I'm sharing tips all the time that will be applicable to managing your time better as a family. The next tip I have for you is be proactive and not reactive. What I mean by this is there are some things in the home that needs to be done more frequently than others. So before you get too far, just sit down and talk about what needs to be done right now and who's going to do it. So simple things like taking out the trash, that can be a big fight in a home. But if you establish in the beginning who is going to take out the trash, it wouldn't be a problem. My other point in terms of being proactive is if you see that the garbage is getting full, go ahead and take it out. Now, when you take the trash out, there is no need to remind him or her that you took it out when it was their turn to take it out. They will clearly see as an adult that the trash is empty. And an empty trash means that someone took it out. So there's no need for you to tell them that. They will get the message. The message that I have for you is to be proactive and not reactive. Don't wait until things escalate to get all out of control. Establish who will do it. If the person doesn't do it, you go ahead and do it. And then they will get the message that it needs to be done. Tip number 6. Your way is not the right way. If your spouse is getting the job done using the same or less resources over the same amount of time and the result is exactly the same or better, who cares how they fold the clothes? If it's the same result, we don't care. You must Pick your battles, love. You gotta pick your battles. I hope that this video gave you the practical tips that you need to succeed in maintaining a schedule in your home about who will do what and when they will do it. In the next video, I will be showing you how to communicate that to your spouse, how to communicate between the two who will do what and when they will be doing it. It won't be a paper system, so if you enjoy paper systems, that video may not be for you, but I'm going to show you a digital way to communicate responsibilities and tasks about who will do it and when it will take place, and in some instances, where it will take place in the next video. So be sure to come back. I want you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you did like this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the description of the video. Let me know which tips work for you. Maybe you use other tips. Maybe there are some tips that absolutely, doesn't make sense to you. Let me know those tips as well. In the meantime, I want you to be bold. I want you to be great. And oh my dear, I need you to be beautiful. Like the video if you did like it.